too. Knows about the grind, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. What's up, Nasties? How you doing? Happy Monday. It's beautiful out there. It's Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, Hernan Salas here with you. Lots to get to on EST afternoons. Of course, always presented by Edmonton Sports Talk, always presented by Play Alberta. We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios. It's going to be a fun show. Lots to recap over the weekend, man. I don't even know where to start. F1, NASCAR, CFL, trades, signings, Oilers stuff. Where do we start? It's going to be a wild day. Tomorrow, of course, is an off day, but I know the boys are going to jump on around 10 a.m. For a free agency special to see what the Oilers do. We'll get to all of it. I know a lot of Oilers fans are unhappy so far, but... we'll get to it. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat, and if you're watching us, we appreciate it. Slam that thumbs up for us as well. Send us messages on the good old Nasty Chat. A little slow right now, but it's going to pick up. River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Like always, we want to hear from you. I know everybody's pretty fired up right now. Of course, if you want to get in on the Play Alberta action, Joaquin, all you have to do is deposit 20 or more. If you want to do casino, it's a $50 casino code, EST Casino, and you can do the same for a $50 free bet with a minimum $20 deposit. The promo code is EST Sports or EST Casino, and you can also use YEG50. We roll along here. Joaquin, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
Yeah, just good?
Yeah. We were talking about I forgot to tell you one of the things I did over the weekend. I watched one of the worst movies ever made by man.
I'm intrigued.
The Jason Momoa.
Okay.
Is Jason No Moa. Am I going to watch his movies? Because that Aquaman 2 was awful. It was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it got to the point where it was dumb because they were trying to be funny and it was all CGI'd and he couldn't. Like, I don't think he worked out for the movie. Like, I remember seeing, I get and all of a sudden he'd put on the Aquaman suit and all of a sudden be ripped and jacked. And then he'd be in like loose clothing the rest. And it just wasn't good at all. So bad. So bad. Which is disappointing.
Well, I finished The Bear.
Okay. I'm almost done.
Better than season 3. I'm intrigued. There's obviously going to be a season 5. There's no way it ends like that.
Okay, don't ruin it for me.
Or maybe it does end like that. Damn.
I think I'm like on episode, how many of the 10?
10.
I think I got to 7.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, that 7th episode is a longer one.
Very
that's
long.
That's the wedding.
Wedding one, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think maybe I watched one after that. I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But you're right. Like, I just, I like the cooking portion. I just like to watch them cook.
Yeah.
When the English guy comes, the pastry chef, I was actually kind of happy to see him again. And then
he's good.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's but
I think I'm 3 episodes into the final season of Squid Game. So good. So damn good. Hey, coming up on the show today, of course, tons of hockey talk, tons of football talk. We're going to talk some auto racing as well. Hernan's going to have his top 5 videos of the weekend, and we're going to have some fun with that. Maybe something we do going forward. We're just going to play him and break it down, and there's going to be some chaos, some chill stuff, but it's going to be great. Just kind of a quick recap of the weekend. And at 2:20, Byron Bader, he is the creator of Hockey Prospecting, will join us to recap the draft. We'll see what the Oilers did there. Of course, 5 picks for them late. Nothing in the first 2 rounds, but we'll get a good idea of what he thought the Oilers did. And, of course, winners and losers at the draft. It's always hard to tell and we'll get his thoughts on the presentation production because I thought it was completely awful. But let's get to the Oilers news, Joaquin. They re-signed Noah Philp. I don't know if you know this, but he played at the U of A.
I do know that.
Okay. He's $775K. Sure, whatever. Kasperi Kapanen, 1.3 for 1 year. I'm not going to get too fired up over it. I think Connor Brown, Corey Perry kind of priced themselves out and kind of they landed on Kapanen saying, okay, let's go. We'll keep you around. He can't be in your top. If he's in your top six, you're a bad team. Plain and simple. Bottom six guy, sure. He was terrible in the regular season. Picked it up a little bit in the playoffs. He was, so let's be honest. Better in the playoffs, sure. But a guy, again, that's probably going to be in and out of this lineup. I don't see him as an 82-player game for the Edmonton Oilers. This is the only problem I have. And I know you got to sign guys, and I know the Oilers are strapped, and they want to keep some of these guys. I just don't know how many teams are lined up to give Kasperi Kapanen $1.3 million. Joaquin. I don't. I'll say probably 0. We're lining up. So, again, you want to sign Kapanen? Sure, sign Kapanen. But why do you have to do it now? Like, see what else is out there. Upgrades. Like, we can't forget what Kasperi Kapanen did in the regular season. Gage. He wasn't good.
Yeah, but he was good in the playoffs for when he came in.
I think he scored the big goal.
He was good. He had some good, like there was an element to his game that was good in the playoffs, and
he had a horrible turnover in Florida series.
Yeah, but you could say everyone really wasn't great in the Florida series. But now look, for 1.3 for a 28-year-old with a lot of NHL experience, like you said, I think he does need to remain in that bottom six role. At times, you'll probably see him up with the top guys to shake things up or whatever, but it can't be. I think you have to look somewhere else to create those duos with either Connor and Leon, right? But you have a guy that's got some experience. I think that's good. And what we went over last year with, if it comes to a point where, you know what, we need to free up some space, he gets moved to the minors, and that whole salary gets off the books, and they can do something else.
That's the saving grace here, is that sure, you sign him for a year, but if he stinks, you can just bury him.
Yeah,
and it's 1 year. That's why Hernan
buried.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Well, did you see
removed?
Remove, sure, but it's just that. Like, did you have to sign him right away? Like, were teams lining up for Kasperi Kapanen? I think it's highly unlikely. It is what it is. He's going to be probably a fourth line. But if they start the season, listen, we got a long ways to go. But I heard Dusty giving out lines today, and he didn't say this line, but like, if the Oilers don't go out and get a significant upgrade and forward, it might be Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Kapanen, and I think that's awful.
You can't. Is it time? And I heard Dusty talking about it, I think, and obviously there's work being done about Victor Arvidsson, but Adam Henrique is another guy that I think they should be trying to find someone, a suitor for him.
Sure, but I find it difficult with Rico. The only reason being, Hawk, is because he's older. He has his family settled here. He probably doesn't want to move again. And I think they gave him the option, a full no movement, and he can use it. And he can say, nope, I'm going to stay right here. So yeah. I understand that. And you know what the problem is with this, Joaquin, too, if they don't get a top six guy, which I think is going to be really hard to do. Everybody keeps saying Matt Savoy, which is fine. I like Matt Savoy, but again, you're handing him the spot. He's not earning it. And that's an issue, because when the Oilers were bad, they were just handing spots to young guys. And listen, a lot of people are sliding Savoy there by Draisaitl. It doesn't mean it's automatic, guys. And I'm always a little weary of guys not earning it and just giving him the spot because they couldn't really do anything.
Playing alongside Leon, let's just say Leon Draisaitl, if that's where Savoy, they kind of have him in pencil. You got to be careful with that. That's a lot of pressure to put on a young player. It's kind of like the second Red Bull seat, you know?
That's a good way, yeah.
You get chewed up.
Yeah.
You know, you're going up against the top D every night, lots of responsibility. Your responsibilities on the ice I think playing with Leon, because, during the regular season, Leon somewhat cheats on the offensive side, right? You have to be a reliable player. Your decision making can't always be the same, and you're trying to prove that you belong there instead of feeling comfortable about being. I think that's something, like you said, you got to work up to and earn. I don't like, and who knows, maybe it works out, but you would rather have a little bit more experience, a guy that scored before. And I think that's what they tried to do with Jeff Skinner. Right?
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
And there's a lot of rumors swirling. Brock Boeser, Edmonton. I mean, sure, that'd be a great fit. I know he probably wants $68 million. So the Oilers are going to have to get to work here if they want that. And listen, I'm going to put this to an end again. Darnell Nurse has a full no movement, people. Stop putting him in trades. He is not going to lift that. Why would he? He's part of the core. It's his right. He's not going to. So can we stop with the Darnell Nurse trades? Another one. I don't know. Like, maybe some fans are living in a fantasy world, and that's fine. I get it, fans. But Ilya Sorokin.
No, we talked to, who did we talk to from the Islanders there the other day?
Stefan Ross.
Yeah. And he said, hold on, let me just call up their lineup real quick, because I remember him saying about the core group there. So I believe he put Barzell, Horvat, and I think he actually said Sorokin in that core of the Islanders. That's part of their core. You're not, and plus I don't know how the Oilers afford him too.
He's 8.25 and he has a full no movement. A team that's in the middle of a retool had 3 picks in the just got 3 picks in the first round. They're going to add. They got cap space. Sorokin it's a fantasy, guys. Like, stop saying, well, the Oilers need to go get Sorokin. Well, like, what world are we living in? Like, stop it. It's not realistic. On the nasty chat, Sheesh Edit says, nope, you're wrong, Hernan. Vegas in on him. No, I know. Like, I'm not saying Boeser to Edmonton is a sure thing. I'm saying there's rumors saying that there is interest between the two sides. I'm not saying Edmonton's a favorite or anything like that. Again, the Oilers got to move a ton of money to even consider bringing in Boeser. Okay. Sin Record says you can't wait until Nurse is gone. Well, I got news for you. He ain't going anywhere. Okay. Don't blame us. Don't get mad at Joaquin and me. No, we didn't sign that deal. We didn't add a full no movement.
But that deal might be okay in a few years too.
Sure.
Right? Because what is it? In 2 years, they say the cap's going to be around 115.
Yeah.
So,
and we got to stop with Swayman too. He's the same money as Sorokin, guys. And the full no movement kicks in next year. Why is Boston trading their number 1 goaltender? Why? That they just committed to long term. Like, Gage, like, people will hurt on you don't like trade. No, I love trades, but it's got to be within.
And what would, like, you got to put the other GM hat on at some point. Go, why would Boston be willing to trade Jeremy Swayman? Right? Off year, but I think this kind of the reasoning why he wasn't as efficient as he was in prior is because he didn't have a Allmark with him. A great 1A, 1B scenario with those two, right? And then all of a sudden you're the man, you're counted on. It's a little bit, and Boston wasn't as good.
No.
So
and they probably won't be.
They probably won't be. Exactly. I thought I saw something with Pasternak. I was like, geez, you guys.
Oh, my God.
Why would they get rid of him?
Lingus99 says, because Wayman likes West Edmonton Mall. Can that be part of the deal? Listen, I'm going to be honest, Walk. I think tomorrow the Oilers are going to be extremely quiet. I think they're going to sign a handful of guys AHL.
Okay.
They're going to build that. Unless they move Arvidsson, then you're probably going to announce Bouchard, and then they might bring in another mid-tier forward. And I think they're done. And I think they're going to go into the season, maybe add a few pieces here in the summer, probably a few PTOs, and then everybody's going to use the phrase, well, let's wait till the deadline. Sure. They still won't have that much more money, guys.
But really, so if you really look at the Edmonton Oilers last year, they made a big splash right away.
They did.
And hey, we've said it. We were kind of excited of what this looked like. But our recency bias, we were thinking we were jumping right into the playoffs again, not really another 82-game schedule. So I think the Oilers are going to take a different approach this year, where I think you'll see them retooling throughout the whole season, trying to do it that way. And I know, really, when you look at the UFAs and the people available, I think that's the best thing for you to do. There's not really many eye-popping guys that are within reason, right? I'm thinking of those $4 to $6 million difference makers. Like that's what you need to start looking for and looking at, and maybe those opportunities start to present themselves through. Maybe there is a trade, maybe there is an injury, maybe there's something else that you can do to bolster your lineup. But I think a wait and see approach, just because of what happened last year, and essentially they tied their hands together July 1st last year.
Yeah,
they couldn't do a lot.
They couldn't do it. And that's why you're on the show, because that's a great that's a great comment, Walk. Because to sign guys just to sign them is not the way you should build your team. To go out and get a goalie, a sideways move just because people have Skinner fatigue is not the move. It's got to make sense. It's got to fit. And that's not, I get it. Fans don't want to hear that. They like excitement. They like moves and all that. But you're right. They might keep their powder dry. And honestly, a lot of that's it's not by choice, right?
Yeah.
They don't have the assets. They don't have the money. They got 9 no movements. And we already broke it down last week that it's not the most in the NHL. They're like mid-pack. So everybody, I guess the positive, Kapanen didn't get a no movement. But I'll get to this, and we'll end the segment with this. And Dusty tweeted this out yesterday because I was getting riled up seeing all these Sorokin trade offers and Nurse. And it's just like, come on, people. Like, never say never, sure, but it's very simple. So the Oilers have $12.3 million in cap space. This is before the deals today, okay? 13.3 with Jones in the minors. If Bouchard gets 10.5, they'll have $2.8 million in cap space. You can knock that down because they just signed Kapanen.
Yeah.
Okay. They trade Arvidsson before free agency. That's another $4 million. So we're looking at $5 million, guys, for the cap space right now.
Yeah.
Sure, they can try to move Rico. Sure, they can try to move other guys that have no movements. Sure, it's all great, but until it happens, this team is in a tough spot, man. And going into October, Joaquin, this team might not be better than the one that finished this year. That just might be the reality of it.
I really think the only players on this team who that aren't that you don't look to move.
Yeah.
Obviously the big two.
Yeah.
Connor and Leon. And Zach Hyman. The rest.
I'm willing to move all of them.
You're willing to move Hyman too?
Not Hyman.
Not Hyman.
No, I said outside of the top 3, everybody else.
Those 3, when I look at it, those are the only guys that they just mean too much.
Yeah.
The other ones, although there would be holes to fill, obviously, but I think you can find replacements. And it's hard to say because I think there's more in Darnell Nurse's game. Can he get to another level, or is this it?
I think this is it. He's 30 years old, Juan.
I know.
Like, you played pro, I played sports. I was never very good, but like
Me neither.
there's a cap when you realize this is as good as I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Seriously, like,
Yeah.
okay. I listen, could he have an exceptional years in years 31, 32? Yeah, why not? I mean, we've seen other.
What does that year look like?
What does that look like? I think this is Darnell Nurse, who's listen.
He's a good player.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He has lapses. He struggles in the playoffs for some reason. It's Darnell Nurse, man. It's just the way it is. Breaking news: the Godfather himself, Bob McKenzie, sounds like Aaron Ekblad staying in Florida.
Yeah. So, and yeah, a lot of other experts have said this. I think it was actually Luke Gazdick that said this too. The Oilers have to go into the building of their team for 2025-26 with with the view of beating the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup playoffs again? Because it looks like you have to say that Florida's going to go back.
Yeah, I the way the Oilers are trending and what they can do, I think this is going to be. I don't know how to put it. I just don't think the Oilers can do much to make a significant upgrade on this team. I hope I'm wrong. I truly do. I truly hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem that way. They might keep their powder dry. I don't know what that means for McDavid because McDavid wants to see what this team is doing in terms of the roster, not just for next year, but for the following 2, 3, 4 years. And right now, you got to be a little concerned because the team's not upgrading. Kapanen is not an upgrade. Trent Frederic's not an upgrade. Evander Kane, one of your better players in the playoffs, is gone. So they haven't upgraded in any position yet. Any. Whatsoever. Noah Philp, sure, your fourth line center, sure. I mean, give him a look. Doesn't cost you anything. So when
he looked good, man, but
yeah.
that's a good solid 4C, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's it. All right, on the other side of the break, keep the messages coming. We will get to the River Korean box, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat as well. Slam that thumbs up. We're going to look at some of the moves made over the weekend and announced today. If you missed it, it sounds like Ekblad, they're keeping the band together in Florida. And why wouldn't you? Aaron Ekblad looks like he's going to be staying in Florida. The afternoon inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out some shows coming up in July. Ian Munsick on July 5th. Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly on July 25th. All you have to do for tickets is go to the River Cree Resort box office or hit them up at rivercreeresort.com. We're back after the break with more Chell Talk here on EST Afternoons.
The Oilers have signed Noah Philp and Kasperi Kapanen to a one-year deal. Kapanen getting over $1 million next season. Philp coming in at league minimum on a two-way deal. And breaking news, multiple reports, including TSN's Bob McKenzie, are saying that Aaron Ekblad will sign an extension with the Panthers. In other news, the Leafs have acquired Matthias Michelli from the Mammoth for a conditional third-rounder in 2027. While from Long Island, Alexander Romanov has signed an 8-year, $50 million extension. Elsewhere, Vladimir Tarasenko is on the move, being shipped to Minnesota from Detroit for future considerations. NFL news sees the Dolphins trading Jalen Ramsey, Jonnu Smith, and a 7th-rounder in 2027 for Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 7th-round pick. In baseball, there's 8 games. The Jays and Yankees go toe-to-toe after 5. Max Scherzer gets a start for Toronto. This sports update is brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Grab your hard hat and huddle up for Elks action as they host the Ottawa Redblacks July 6th in a construction-themed game. Family fun with construction equipment at Tailgate, plus in-game contests matching the theme. Tickets start at just $20. Get your tickets now at goelks.com. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. More hockey talk follows after the break.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Darren Dreger, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports.
I don't think that the Oilers would be fishing in a real deep pond anyway. I think that we can all look at the wants and maybe even the needs of the Edmonton Oilers, but there's nothing wrong with being patient in the process as well. And then you also go bargain shopping and you look at some of the mid-level forwards. I think that's more of the aisle that Stan Bowman and the Oilers will be shopping in.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Ford Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Here's to the beautiful lakes and stunning landscapes Canada has to offer. And for the kayak, camping gear, and summer toys you used to enjoy them? Need extra space? Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca. Happy Canada Day.
Sunday through Thursday, 9 p.m. to close, head to The Banquet and dive into banquet burgers, sushi tacos, nachos, and more. Late night bites, big flavors, and epic deals. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
.126. Welcome back to EST Afternoons. Zach Kubish, Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas here with you. Elliot Friedman has some numbers for us. Looks like Ekblad will be 8 years, 6.1 ish.
Wow.
That's pretty good, man.
So they got 4 left for Marchand.
That's crazy,
4 and a bit.
man. That's a nice little deal there for a stud defenseman. Greasy, dirty. Love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, town, let's slam that thumbs up. Click, click, click. Must you click?
So they got Kulikov, Mikula, Forsling, Seth Jones, Aaron Ekblad. You got to be kidding me.
You got to be kidding me. That's a good GM over there. Oh, boy.
Brad Marchand. So what was that? 6? Marchand can get 4.5 over, like he's 37. 4.5 for 3. I don't know.
Why
4.
wouldn't he? Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't he?
Unreal, man.
Unreal.
JT Sharks, Ekblad is 29. Yeah, you're still going to get 4 or 5 years out of him.
He's awesome.
He's a number one defenseman.
That's when like D-men really come into their own. 29, 30, 31, 32, that's when they're at their best.
At their best.
Especially a guy like him.
God,
and now you just have Seth Jones.
This is depressing.
This is this is unbelievable.
Okay. Slam that thumbs up. I can't talk today. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat, River Korean Box, 780-218-9099. If you're listening, slide on over, okay? Please, slam that thumbs up for us. Let's get to 100. Come on. Everybody's off tomorrow. It's Canada Day.
Oh, yeah.
Free agency. You get to watch TSN all day and see what the Oilers do. We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. Okay, Gager. Morgan Geekie, 6-year deal with Boston. I'm a little weary about that because he had a really good second half of the season. Doesn't always work off. Alexander Romanov, 8 years, $50 million deal. That was announced today. We already talked about Kapanen and Philp. Nicholas Hague, after the trade from Vegas to Nashville, he signs a 4-year deal with a 5.5 cap hit. That's a really good deal for Nashville.
Yeah.
Nick Hague's an excellent defenseman.
Yeah.
Matthew Nyes, 6 years, 7.75 cap hit. That's one of you love that guy. What do you think of that deal?
The Toronto Maple Leafs got away with one here because he was getting offer sheeted for sure.
Yeah,
he's a whale of a player, man.
That's a good one, man. That's a good player. I think it's a good price point.
I would have. Yeah, I'm surprised it's that low actually.
Yeah, me too. Trades today. Matias Michelli from the Utah Mammoth goes to the Leafs for a 3rd-round pick. Tarasenko to the Wild. Detroit gets future considerations in return. We already talked about it. Nick Hague goes to Nashville. This was late last night for Jeremy Lauzon and Colton Sissons. Nice little couple grabs there for the Golden Knights. John Gibson, this happened on Saturday, to Detroit for Peter Mrazek, a 4th-round pick and a 2nd-round pick. And then this is the one I like for Ottawa. They get Jordan Spence, who's a good defenseman from the LA Kings for a 3rd rounder and a 6th rounder. But first, Gager, a name that's talked about a lot here, John Gibson moves to Detroit. Your thoughts on that move?
I'm just glad because now
we
don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Detroit's trying to upgrade their goaltending, and I don't know if that's an upgrade. I'll be honest.
I don't think it's an upgrade. Let's see. Because it was Mrazek last year, correct? Talbot's. So they have Talbot, Gibson, Alex Lyons, UFA.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a 37-year-old and a 31-year-old, 9.3% of the cap tied up into both those guys. They got their work cut out for them, I think, with that defensive core. Although they have, they do have Seider, who's a whale of a defenseman. This team's going to be tough for them to try to get into the playoffs here.
Yeah, and if the other big thing with Gibson, can he stay healthy? That's the big thing with him. Mm-hmm. Haji says, if this doesn't scream Florida tax advantage, I don't know what does. You're making Dusty's point. But
this is what we said, though.
Yeah.
This is what we said. Yeah, this is where the tax advantage really comes into play because of the negotiation techniques used by the Panthers or the Tampa Bay Lightning to entice their players to stay with them. Winning obviously helps in this, but they can come back. Okay, well, this team, we're talking to this team. It looks like we might have an advantage here.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the whole tax situation of that team, right? Look at how much you're actually the take home aside from the state tax or whatever it is. Yeah, it is an advantage. You can't say it's not. But I think it's not the guys that get drafted there and things like that. They don't have a specific, because a lot of the players in Florida have been traded to Florida. They've done an unbelievable job of getting the right personnel through waiver wire and trades and acquisitions. But now you build that culture and everyone talks about it. And winning does that for an organization. Everyone wants to be part of it. Why wouldn't you want to stay? Your chances of becoming 3-time Cup champions, like you can't tell me that right now, and I haven't looked at any odds, but depending on what they do over the next few days, I would still probably put Florida at the tops to repeat as Stanley Cup champions next year.
Yeah. Mike in Thunder Bay, does Ekblad contract drive down Bouchard? I don't think so because one's 29 years old, one's 25. So
they're different.
And they're, different times in their careers for sure. Notice how other teams make business decisions instead of personal. Example, Vegas. Oh, but he's McDavid's friend. They won't win with $9 million second-line defenseman. Jason, you're not wrong, but Jason, please understand, he has a full no movement. Stan Bowman could have went to him and said, Darnell, do you mind lifting it if we shop you around? You know what Darnell says? No. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
That's the end of it. That's the power that was given to Darnell Nurse. Okay? You think Darnell Nurse is going to say yes and move away from a Stanley Cup contending team? Like, I get what you're saying. Vegas makes moves, makes it happen. And I know you can be over the cap in the offseason, right? You just got to get your ducks in a row before the season starts. I understand that. But it's like, we don't know what Stan Bowman's doing. We don't know if Stan Bowman's asked any of these guys to lift it. But again, if they say no, that's the end of the conversation. That's the end of it.
Yeah, probably might circle back, but closer to the trade deadline.
That's all we're saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to move Darnell. But you can try, but ultimately it's Nurse's decision, not the Oilers.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks when you give a player full no movement and you overpay them. No, that was the market when Nurse signed. Was it an overpayment? Hell yeah, I was. Has he lived up to that contract? No. Is he a good defenseman, a solid defenseman when he's on? Hell yeah, he is. And he's a second pairing guy, and we got to live with that. We have to live with it.
Who would you look to? I mean, there's rumblings about a big UFAs right now. Who would you say is a realistic one for the Edmonton Oilers?
For forward?
Yeah.
I don't mind the idea of Mangiapane.
Okay.
Again, you're going to have to move some stuff around.
Yeah, because he's like 5 or something.
Because he can play top 6, he can play bottom 6. He's an awesome player. He's a little spark plug. He gets dirty. I like it. I think that's the kind of player. I know some people are saying Lucas Reichel at it. Like, enough with the projects. This is a team that has to compete for the Stanley Cup. Lucas Reichel does nothing for this top 6. He couldn't do anything for Chicago. Would Klim Kostin cost more than Kapanen? If not, I'd like him and Podkolzin with Frederick at center. Ooh. I don't think Kostin's expensive at all, buddy.
No.
If I'm being honest with you.
But looking at the kind of the big dogs, right? Obviously Marner, that's a pipe dream. Boeser, I don't think you're going to be able to afford him. He's coming off 6'6". He's going to want to get paid. Ehlers,
there's teams lining up for that guy.
Yeah.
Now, he never can finish the season though. He's always
hurt. Yeah.
I think that brings down his price just a little bit. Smitty the Welder says different times in career, but Ekblad is better D-man than Bouchard. 100%. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't. 100. But there's a 4 or 5 year difference there in age, so that's why the contract's going to be a little bit different. Duck Dad, Nurse probably has a 1-team trade list. Florida. Yeah.
What about Patrick Kane?
No.
You think Bowman would?
No. Enough with these old guys, right?
I don't know, man.
JT Shark, Bowman asked Kane to waive his yeah, but he had to modify it. Okay. And he probably said yes to he approved yes to Vancouver. Okay, that one worked, but it doesn't mean the other ones are going to work, right? So
what about Cody Ceci?
No, been there, done that. I think the decor is fine right now. Because Bowman said over the weekend, Ekholm's healthy.
Oh, he finally got healthy?
Finally, now he's healthy. He also said that, he's not going to force the goalie transaction. I think we could all agree. Well, I shouldn't say all. I think you and I agree with that. They're going to try to add, but they're limited to what they can do. So how can you ever say Bouchard is even close to 10 million? Smitty the Welder, that's the market for defensemen like Bouchard. We compared him to Noah Dobson. They're very similar. They lack defensively. They're both good offensively. They're both the same age.
What Dobson signed for?
9.5.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to get.
And Bouchard's got better numbers.
You think Bouchard's going to be like, I'll take 6?
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. It's the market. Is it fair? Does it suck? 100%. I don't think anyone agrees with paying Bouchard 10. But that's what the market says for defensemen like Evan Bouchard. Sorry. Yeah, and Ekblad maybe took a hometown discount.
Of course. Yeah, he did. And he got that extra 8th year too, right? Because I mean, looking around the league, what would you be looking to? You're not going to give Ekblad 9 or 10,
No,
so,
not at this point.
Not at this point in his career. So he gets the extra year. Sorry, I just said it too, but at 6. I don't think it's on here yet.
And Bouchard's probably, I'd say
6'1".
right now 10 to 10.5 is Bouchard's contract. I think he's going to get a little more than Dobson just because of his playoff numbers.
Oh yeah,
and I mean, if he does a 4-year deal, I like that. There's going to be a full no move on this too.
I don't like the 4-year deal with Bouchard.
No,
I think it should be longer.
I think 4 is fine. He's 25, 26 by the time the season rolls around. And then you're done with him by the time he's 30?
No, I give him 8.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, if you go longer, you bring down the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's interesting. We'll ask the Nazis. For Evan Bouchard, do you prefer a 4-year deal or an 8-year deal? Let us know. River Korean Box 780-218-9999 or hit us up on the Nazi chat. Only 28 thumbs up. Let's go. It's beautiful outside. Canada Day just around the corner. Free agency opens up tomorrow. Would you prefer a long-term deal or a short-term deal for Mr. Evan Bouchard? Because one way or the other, he's going to be here. At least for 4 years. But
well, what's the most important thing to everyone? Maybe Koob, you can put up a poll if you have time. We can the signing of Bouchard, top 6 forward, or a change in goal. 3?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That's kind of the bush we're
I know
beating
which
around.
one's going to win. Do you see Alex Pietrangelo looks like he'll be out for the whole year
What?
due to injury? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
He'll be ready to go game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I'll tell you
well,
that
maybe
much.
by Olympics, hopefully. Need him for the Olympics, baby.
Yeah, hold on. Before we go to break, I just want to check something out here because people are sending stuff in, but I don't know. I just got to double check before I put on some. Okay. No, I'll stay away from that for now. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. 2 new wing flavors just dropped at the CBH for a limited time. Gager, 50-yard barbecue versus cherry cola.
50 yards. Does that mean you can't go within 50 yards of a toilet?
Cherry cola wings. I don't know about that, man.
That sounds hot.
Which one scores big with your taste buds? Try them anytime for 69 cents on Wing Wednesdays. The Canadian Brew House, our house is your house. We continue the Chell Talk. We'll look at some exciting moments over the weekend that Hernan's got prepped for you. And we roll on here. Don't stop sending in the messages. River Korean Box, Nasty Chat, and slam that thumbs up. We're back after the break.
Noah Philp and Kasperi Kapanen have re-upped in Edmonton, both on a 1-year deal. Philp signing a 2-way contract at league minimum, with Kapanen getting over $1 million next season. And down south, Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman is reporting that Aaron Ekblad and the Panthers have agreed to an 8-year contract extension worth over just $6 million per season. Elsewhere, Matthias Michelli is off to Toronto, being traded from Utah in exchange for a conditional 3rd-rounder in 2027. The pick will become a 2029 2nd-round selection if Michelli has 51 points next year and Toronto makes the playoffs. For the Islanders, 25-year-old Alexander Romanov has signed a $50 million extension for 8 seasons. And from Detroit, the Wings have traded Vladimir Tarasenko to the Wild for future considerations. Out east, MLB action has 8 games. Toronto and New York open up a 4-game series. Max Scherzer gets the ball for the Jays. Carlos Rodon takes the mound for the Yankees. First pitch goes at 5:07. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc. They're the experts you need to know. Joaquin and Hernan continue to discuss the news on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
So is Bouchard going to get a short one?
When we were getting these texts on Hello Hockey the other day, is like, hey, does the Dobson deal now set Bouchard at under 10? And I think we were hesitant to go there. Yeah, Dobson's good, puts up good numbers, but the Islanders are nowhere near the same team that the Oilers have been over the last few years. Dobson, playoff success is crucial, and Bouchard's had that.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the west side of the city. Beautiful day out there. What are you doing? You have today off, an extra 4-day weekend. Some people took Monday off, go into Tuesday. It's kind of a little weird to have Tuesday off, a day off in between. But
sucks.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really hot tomorrow.
Is it?
Well, oh, yeah. The Oilers over the weekend at the draft drafted 5 players, 83rd overall, 3rd round. They took Tommy Lafreniere. 4th round, 117th overall. They took David Lewandowski. 5th round, they took Asher Barnett, a defenseman. Left winger was Lewandowski, right winger for their 3rd round pick. In the 6th round, they took goalie Daniel Salonen. And then in the 7th round, they took Aiden Park. And we're going to start off our Hernan's kind of, I don't know what to call this, like wild weekend videos, whatever. I don't know if you noticed, I saw it, Gager, but so the Oilers' last pick, Aiden Park. He went down to the place that were hosting it, and he went in a hoodie and shorts because he went to see a buddy. And he heard his name called. And he did not know. And it was funny because they were interviewing a Nashville prospect, and he saw his buddy, Aiden, get drafted. He started laughing. He's like, look how he's dressed. He didn't expect it. So here it is. Just check him out. The most chill draft pick ever. Hoodie, shorts.
He's from Hermosa. Like, yeah, he's just chill.
He's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, so Aiden Park there just bringing the style. I absolutely loved it. Look at him. Like, he was just there to go hang out, see a buddy, and the Oilers call his name. So that's pretty cool. That's good, Coop. So good for the Oilers. 5 picks. We'll talk to Byron Bader about what kind of grade he gave the Oilers here with their 5 selections. But again, limited. It's a little different when the Oilers are competing for Stanley Cups. I remember back in the day, in the decade of darkness, we used to get so jacked up, jacked up for the draft. Gage, we're going to continue on. We're going to have some fun here. Okay.
Yeah.
So. Over the weekend, I saw this clip, and it's some sort of racing, okay? I'm going to tee it up here. So I'll let it run. Here we go. So the number 8 was supposed to win, but they gave the win to number 16 car. He jumps out of the car and attacks. Now, the person in the winning car is a female driver, okay?
Okay.
So she takes off. Okay, just keep it here. This is the chaos. This is back. He's going in there. This is his dad, the number 8 driver's dad, running across because he got taken out. Watch him. He jumps into the car. Let's go. The cops grab him. Buddy in the shorts and in the sandals starts fighting the son. That was amazing. Like, you should have heard the call. I wish I could have had the call on it.
Oh, yeah.
The guy was like, this is WWE. We got Ric Flair chops. We got all. So that was good.
That's crazy.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. I want to show you this one. This is NASCAR, okay? This is the start of the second stage. First stage was absolutely amazing. And they started the in-season tournament, bracket style. Check out this. All the top dogs. Like, this is NASCAR
this
for
is
you, buddy.
Crazy, man. And then. Oh, man.
How crazy is that? That was the biggest delay I've ever seen.
That was like me on the Henday this morning.
And it's funny because all the top dogs were out.
Yeah.
And they lost the bracket. So, like, everybody's, because they were talking about it on the broadcast, everybody's bracket was busted. It's like March Madness. They're like, none of the top dogs are left.
Yeah.
So there was 40 drivers. When they restarted, I think there was 29. 11 cars out from that one accident.
Crazy.
And it's just a guy sliding out. Coop's going to like this one. Don't play it yet, Coop. Oh, here we go. Let's start that again.
Oh, Jesus.
Ilya, hey, give us the play-by-play here, Coop. This is your stuff. So,
well, it was a championship fight in the lightweight division for the UFC. Ilya Tsaporia, who's just been really defeating people by ease as of recent. Who do you fight? Alexander Volkanovski, now Charles Oliveira. This was in the first round, just over the halfway point of the first round, and they We're exchanging a couple blows before, but Ilya Topuria, man, this guy's got power and absolutely put Charles Oliveira to sleep. And the joke was they kind of put a side cam during one of the fights before that, like on the feature prelim to try and hype up this main event here. And what they did was they showed Oliveira stretching on the side corner. He was like face down and whatever, you know. The massage therapist was there just stretching him out before the fight. And my buddy was like, that's what he's going to look like in the ring. He's just prepping for his knockout. And, you know, he fell on his back, but it was a good knockout. Topuria, double champ in the UFC.
Wasn't Paddy Bad Boy in the ring afterwards and they pushed him?
Yeah, that's the next fight. Yeah, Paddy the Baddie. Yeah, 200-pound Paddy.
I think he's going to kill Paddy, man. This guy is unreal, man. I've seen 2 of his fights, and they both ended like that. No, how good was the other guy, though, Coop?
Yeah.
Charles Oliveira, former champ. He's great on the ground. He's got great striking. He's fantastic, but he's on a bit of a down curve right now. He's a bit older. He's towards the end of his UFC career, but great opponent for Ilya Topuria to defeat.
Wasn't afraid to put his chin out there, that's for sure.
God,
Jesus. Maybe a little bit of a keep your hands up there.
Yeah, he was playing a little bit too comfortable.
A little too loose.
A little bit too loose in that one. And one sucker punch, and he was done. He was knocked out on his feet, and he took a couple of extra shots as well. So,
like it's that bang on the head on the mat too. But then you got the hammer fist afterwards. Like, don't you know he's kind of done at that point? It's kind of...
Yeah,
I don't like that part of the UFC where it's like, okay, let's kill him.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess so, yeah. Well, sometimes, you know, they wake up and then they can keep fighting. They're mainly unconscious, but he was he was down and out.
I mean, come on. Those guys have fought enough. They know when they knock someone out. Like, they can tell by the way they fall, and they're just like, his hands are by him. He's completely vulnerable at that point. I don't get those extra 2 shots.
Yeah, I mean, you fight to the buzzer, you play to the whistle, right? So.
I know, I get it.
Love to do that to someone, just.
Jeez,
Hernan. Is that Semin that did that? Remember for Washington?
Okay, last clip here. This was a riot. Toronto Argos last night. David Sluka, check this play out, off a missed field goal. It gets blocked, sorry. Yeah. So he grabs it in the end zone. I'm going to go to the left. Oh, there's nothing there. Wait, I'm going to go right. And I'm going to go down the sideline. Let's see. I got one guy to beat. Goes all the way. And this isn't even the best part. David Sluka, this guy was a receiver when he came into camp. They they transformed him into a safety, and this guy's been absolutely fantastic. You know what's even better about that, Gager? He had a fumble return in the same game.
Really?
He had so many yards for a defensive player. He was just outstanding. The only thing missing was Dusty on this clock. He probably would have lost his mind.
Yeah.
Like, just the speed, it was just fantastic. It was great to see David Sluka, 2 touchdowns yesterday, one on a fumble recovery, one on a blocked field goal from his own end zone. Just outstanding stuff. And the NFL says they're exciting. You know what would have happened in the NFL? Play would have been dead. That's it. So we saw Aiden Park, the most chill Oilers draft pick ever, show up in a hoodie and shorts just to see what was up, and he ends up getting drafted. We saw a crazy fight in some sort of racing. Dad and son going crazy. One jumps into the car. The other one scraps the driver's partner, maybe. NASCAR chaos with the big crash that took out all the big dogs in NASCAR. The Ilya knockout. And that was from my boy Coop. He's a double belt holder now.
Double champ.
Sorry, I totally butchered that. And
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I just with Aiden Park played for the Calgary Hitmen.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah. So we should have Guy Flaming. He would have a better idea of what kind of player he is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we'll ask Byron Bader too.
Yeah.
Because he played USHL first.
Did he?
Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. Yeah. Can you imagine that Argos player in fantasy football? But I don't think CFL does. I don't think Maddie's League does defensive players.
Oh.
So it's definitely interesting.
Hey, they've been, they've been some pretty good games in the CFL so far.
Yeah, this week, I'll be honest, I think the Alex Bombers game was the best. Riders Lions was kind of a dud.
It was a dud. Yeah, I guess.
Montreal Hamilton was a dud. Yesterday's was okay, a little bit better than the other two, but you're gonna get those. You're not gonna get every game's gonna be exciting. So we'll see what happens. Your Edmonton Elks. It's a while till they play. They don't play till Sunday. They'll be home to the Ottawa Red Blacks. That's a game they have to win.
What time is that game? Do you know when that game is?
I think 5.
Is it?
Well, it's a Sunday. I don't think they.
I hope it's early.
5.
Like, did you like the earlier games?
Oh yeah.
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 Yeah. Especially in the summer. Right?
I know.
No, I love 5 o'clock.
I mean, I don't see what's wrong with a 2 o'clock game.
Even that. I told Dusty if the Elks don't win, he can kick me in the nads.
Yeah. I got to work on you with those.
Because I saw the Red Blacks play yesterday, Joaquin. If the Elks don't beat that team.
Really?
Seriously, man.
Okay.
Like, I think the Elks, they had their good moments. I think they're so much better there. They have more talent than they've had in the last 4 years. That's a team you cannot lose to. And Drew Brown wasn't even dressed. You might get Dustin Crum again. Yeah, you cannot lose that game at home. So I think we're gonna see what happens, though, right? Put a lot of butts in the seats. It's gonna be a Sunday. Kids are off school. We'll try to get a little bit of a bigger crowd than they saw in the first game, and hopefully their first win. Got a long time to prep and see what happens. But all in all, the Elks need to get one here quick, because then they host the Lions on the 13th. Also, a 5 o'clock start here, and then they go to Regina to take on the Riders, who are 4-0 on this season. They're on the bye week this week, so. It's time to start moving for the Edmonton Elks. We'll see if we'll get an Elk on this week. We probably will, just to tee up the game, have some fun. We love supporting the green and gold, of course, like all the shows do here on EST Afternoon. So we'll see. We'll go from there. Hope you enjoyed those videos. If you're listening, just go back, because they're pretty fun to watch. Just a lot of chaos, some cool stuff, and then some brilliant plays, especially from that Argos guy. He was excellent in that game. Joaquin, hour 2. Byron Bader, creator of Hockey Prospecting. He'll recap the draft for us. We'll get an idea of all these players the Oilers took, and look at the high end picks that went, and maybe if there's any sleepers and the winners and losers from draft day. And I think the losers for sure were the NHL for going that route and that presentation production wise. It was awful. It was too long. It was awkward. It was awkward. I will say this, the first pick, what's his name again?
Schaefer.
Man, he
it
made me cry a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Yeah, very emotional. At least it looks like a great kid, man.
What was the reasoning behind doing it this way?
I guess the GMs wanted this.
Oh, really?
I guess they still all liked it, and they said they like to be at their home base, but no.
You just there's moments in the draft that are cool to watch in those scenarios, right?
100%,
You want to see
yeah.
that. Even the was a few years ago, the one kid's parents started making out like the plane was going down when he got drafted. That was hilarious.
I don't remember that.
No, oh yeah, they it was even he looked up and was like, "Oh my God,
Jesus.
Mom, Dad,
Jeez, control yourselves." Hey, and our great producer crew put up the question: what should be the highest priority for the Oilers this offseason? Signing Bouchard, getting a top 6 forward, seeking goaltending options. Let us know. Right now, leading the way, and I'm surprised by this, is getting a top 6 forward at 42%. We continue to discuss the Oilers, and we'll talk F1. We'll go around the NHL, around the CFL. We have so much to break down here on EST Afternoons. We're back after the break here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Lock Shop.
Which makes Nikolai Ehlers the number 1 guy. I mean, we keep hearing Carolina over and over again. I don't know about the fit. He's good enough that wherever he goes, he's going to make an impact. He'll help on the power play. He'll score. I just do wonder about what Carolina's trying to do to their team, knowing that what they have to do is beat Florida. I'm not sure how much Ehlers changes the way that they look going up against a team like that.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The NHRA Hot Rod Heritage Rocky Mountain National return to Red Torque Raceway, featuring racers from across North America in nitro funny cars, fuel-altered Pro Fuel Harley, alcohol dragster, and 7,000 plus horsepower jet cars. The Rocky Mountain National, July 11th to 13th at Red Torque Raceway, located west of Highway 2 on Highway 19 at the Edmonton International Airport, with weekend camping available. Tickets and info online at radraceway.com.
Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Enjoy great drinks, amazing vibes, and unforgettable memories. Download the Banquet app and get a free pizza pie on your birthday. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
The Oilers have re-signed Noah Philp and Kasperi Kapanen to one-year deals. Kapanen gets over $1 million, with Philp being paid league minimum on a two-way contract next season. In other news, multiple reports, including Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman, have said that Aaron Ekblad will be staying in Florida, agreeing to an 8-year extension worth over $6 million per season. And the Leafs have acquired Utah's Matias Maccelli in exchange for a 2027 conditional third-rounder. The pick becomes a second-round selection in 2029 if Toronto makes the playoffs and Maccelli gets 51 points next season. And on Long Island, 25-year-old Alexander Romanov has re-upped with the Islanders on an 8-year, $50 million contract. Elsewhere, Tarasenko is off to Minnesota, being traded from Detroit in exchange for future considerations. And the Jays are in action against the Yankees in their series opener. Toronto naming Max Scherzer the starter with first pitch just after 5. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of EST Afternoon starts right now.
Welcome back to EST Afternoons here live from the William Huff Studios. Joaquin Gage, Zach Kubish, Hernan Salas. Dusty says 9 on open market, stays for 6.1. People say it's because of the weather. No, Dusty, it's because they're a good team. Right?
Yeah.
Enough with this tax stuff. Come on. Like the LeBron argument, man. You got to let it go, man. Got to let it go. Coming up this hour, Byron Bader, creator of Hockey Prospecting, joins us at 2:20 to recap the draft. Of course, tomorrow's an off day here on EST Afternoons for most of the shows, but we will have a special starting at 10 a.m. Matthew Wanick will be hosting that for Free Agent Frenzy. They'll be all over anything the Oilers do, but of course, we'll go around the NHL and touch on all the big signings throughout the league and trades and all that fun stuff. Should be a good day. It's supposed to be really hot. Tomorrow's July 1st. Are you going to go see the fireworks? What's going on? Let's roll. Not much from the Oilers outside of signing Noah Philp, 1-year deal, $775K. Kasperi Kapanen, can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, he stays 1-year deal, $1.3 million. We'll see what else they can do. We'll see what else they can do, man. Like my good buddy Gager just said, to bring in guys, just for
poops and giggles.
Poops and giggles. It's not probably the smartest.
No, you got to
way to go about business. So.
I think you got to take the whole picture into account. Take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
Reevaluate. See what you need.
And if they strike out this month, like going into July, it doesn't mean in August, September, October, they can't do stuff either, right? So, but we have to look at this and look at their cap situation, guys. It's going to be incredibly difficult. And I know a lot of you are going to come, well, Hernan, other teams do it. Yes, I know. Takes two to tango. Always think of the other team as well, the other GM, and say, why would they do certain things? And then I think you'll be a lot more happier with the result. But let's put an end to the Sorokin and all these. Boeser sounds like there's something there. They're going to have to move some money around to make that happen. That'd be a great addition, of course, for the top six. But we sit here and we wait. Can they move on from Arvidsson? Can they move on from Adam Henry? I don't see who else they can move on from, Joaquin. That hasn't. They're not moving Nuge. You're not moving Hyman. You're not moving Nurse. You're not moving Frederick. I mean, Janmark maybe modified, right? Yeah. I mean, is Ekholm a guy that's a little bit older now that you look at maybe getting younger
29,
there?
Man. Nurse is older than him.
No, I'm saying, but what I'm saying is if people want guys up, he's 35.
Who?
Matthias Ekholm.
Oh, I thought you were saying Ekblad. Sorry, never mind.
No, Ekholm. Sorry. You scared me there. I'm like, wait, he's 29?
Sorry.
No, taxes mean something in Florida. We're just chirping Dusty. Come on, people. Of course, it's a thing, but let's be honest. People stay in Florida, sure, if you want to throw the taxes. There's because they probably have a chance to three-peat. Right?
You're looking around. How could you not think that there's a really good possibility that they run it back?
Yeah.
All the way. I mean, dude, they look like they could go another round this year. So
I know. I was like, do they look tired? I'm like,
they don't look tired at all.
The Oilers look tired.
Oilers looked exhausted.
So we'll see what happens here, guys. I know how fun trades and signings are. I know. It makes me happy too. You'd be surprised. But Gager, if you let's get to inside the numbers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Actually, let's hold off on that. I gotta find.
Let's hold off on it.
Marner, where do you think he ends up?
Where do I think Mitch Marner ends up? It seems like it's heating up in Vegas, right? That's the kind of the last night, just going through and looking at things. It was a sign and trade kind of situation because look, the Leafs don't want to just lose them for nothing here.
No,
but
they got a day.
They only have a day here, and I think they lose them for nothing. I think Mitch Marner.
Life's a risk, Darnell.
But why does he have to sign anything? Why doesn't he just?
If you're Mitch Marner, honestly, I'd take all of July.
Yeah,
because someone's gonna pay him.
Exactly.
Like, what's the rush?
There is no rush.
Exactly. Coob, another poll. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'll be honest. I have no idea where Marner's going to end up. Do you imagine he strikes before midnight, signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs? They run it back.
Oh my gosh, it would be great. That's all they'd be talking about for the next.
And then here in Edmonton, we run it back with Skinner and Pickard.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
I mean, they were probably thinking they were going to get Ekblad too, right? Now that ship has sailed. That cruise ship.
Don't know what to tell you. Okay, we can get to inside the numbers.
Let's do it.
Actually, I don't know if we can. Sorry, Coob gets frustrated with me. Inside the numbers brought to you by Play Alberta. Play Alberta is your home for online gaming excitement featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instants, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today at playalberta.ca. Let's look at the Oilers cap situation, shall we?
Let's do it.
Are you on Puckpedia?
Yes, I am.
The Oilers currently have what, Gager, in cap space?
Well, why don't you tell me exactly what we're looking for? But I believe the. Oops,
I can
say. Everybody. No,
just over 11 mil.
I was just gonna say that. $11,050,834.
Okay, and that's already included with Kapanen and Noah Philp. Okay.
Yeah, everything's included.
Okay, so let's take that number, subtract it, but what we think. Let's just say Bouchard gets 10.
Okay.
You have $1,050,000 left. You trade Arvidsson, takes you up to 5.
Arvidsson's 4?
4.
Yep.
Okay. That $5 million, what are you doing?
Signing Jeff Skinner and Connor Brown.
Stop. Seriously, though. Is it 2 bottom 6 guys? Is it trying to get a guy that can maybe fit with Draisaitl? Are you looking for a goalie in exchange?
I think you got to try to find what the polls said, top 6 winger.
Could be 6 because if Max Jones is in the minors, which he probably will.
Oh, yeah, you could. And Thomas Ek, so there's another.
Yeah, Thomas Ek's a wild card. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just play with $6 million then. 4 from Arvidsson, the one you got remaining from Bouchard's contract, and then Max Jones is $1 million because you'll probably be in the minor. What with that $6 million? If you were the GM, what are you looking to bring in?
I'm not bringing anything in.
You're keeping it?
I'm keeping it.
Oh, I didn't expect that answer.
And I'm waiting to see how the regular season tree shakes out and what teams are on the outside looking in and what teams are might be looking to unload certain players.
No one's going to like that response.
Oh, I know no one's going to like that, but I think it's the responsible thing to do. You can't have the situation that developed this year where they were so handcuffed with decisions that they had made prior, right? Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
If you would have signed Holloway to that $2 million, you probably don't even sign Kapanen.
Oh God, no.
Right?
Nope.
And so you're just looking around the league to try to find that match, and then you have a certain amount of cap space remaining that you can use towards that. I think is best, and you never know. You gotta kind of look at injuries too. They're going to happen at certain points of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have guys out of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
If you find yourself in a situation, I'm not saying the Oilers will, but who knows? If you find yourself in a playoff battle, someone goes down, makes your team weaker, you all of a sudden have assets and cap space to make deals to keep your head above water, keep your team competitive. Those are things you have to do. I think the Oilers are a good enough team who I don't care who you are I include 97 and 29 in this. If they're injured, you're still a good enough team to win games through the regular season and be successful.
You should be, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what was very telling, and I know I kind of include Nugent Hopkins in this too because he did have the injured hand, but this team, and they were still good, but that's regular season good, and that's tough. But the loss of Zach Hyman, of what he was doing in the playoffs, I guess was more impressive. But that really started to rear its ugly head as that last series went on.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely missed. Okay, so you're standing pat with that $6 million, which is interesting. I don't think many people would say that, but good on you. I mean, the points you make are valid. I mean, there's no need to panic, right?
There's nothing sexy. The only thing I'm thinking about is Boeser, right?
Boeser or Mangiapane for me.
Oh yeah, I would say both.
Yeah.
Because that might be the piece that Leon needs, and it might not be. Too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You never
just
know.
Never know, right?
You never ever know. You look at the names that always pop into mind are the Sedin twins. There was only a couple guys that could actually play with them and have success. Anson Carter was one. Burgess, was it Burgess?
Burrows. Alex Burrows
was the other one.
Yeah.
Like there was very few guys that could play with those two. And you have to be able to think, react, and play the game at such a high level when you're with high caliber players like Leon Draisaitl, right? You have to be able to think the game. And that's why I was excited to see Jeff Skinner play with him, because this is a guy that's had a lot of offensive success in the NHL. But it just, for some reason, even though those two are really talented, it didn't work.
No, just on the coaching, sounds like there's going to be changes to the coaching stuff. Dallas Stars have offered Glen Gulutzan a contract to become their next head coach. Nothing's been officialized, but good for Glen if he is indeed taking that role. Second go around for him with that organization, so good on him. He's been with the Oilers for quite a while. We'll see what other changes they make. I know one specific coach you'd like to see come, but we'll wait and see on that. Maybe later this week they'll announce some changes to the staff. As Belzy on Hello Hockey reported, Zach Cassian out as his pro scout for the Edmonton Oilers as well. And so the Oilers making some changes. Stan Bowman putting his stamp, and maybe letting Knobloch kind of bring in his guys as well. We'll see what comes from it as well. A few messages here. Haji says 8 years all day long. In 4 years, he's going to want 13 plus with the raises in the cap from Haji.
That's what I was thinking.
Shovelhead says longer deal with a lower annual salary is the way to go. This one says, hey, tell me about hockey, please. No name on that. Of course, he's being a smartass. Let's see here. What else do we got? Guess Ekblad didn't want to find a new dealer for his PEDs. Jesus, Barry. Whoa. Uncalled for. Not cool. Oh, and Coop put up our question on Twitter as well, where there's a lot of GMs on Twitter.
Yeah.
Seeking goalie options leads the way. Shocking at 30.3.
Wow. Okay.
And then on YouTube, it's for a top 6-4. So that money wager for Inside the Numbers, I think you can, like you said, if you can make it work with Boeser and it's a part of that cap hit, it's tough. That's why I look, if you can get Andrew Mangiapane around that 4 or 5 mark, I'd do it all day long. With that money, because that defense, you're set. It sounds like, because there's no real upgrade on the goaltending. There's not a realistic one, at least. So you run it back with Skinner and Pickard for $3.6 million for one last year. And then you can spend that money on a forward. Hopefully it works for Draisaitl. What say you? With that $6 million, we just broke it down. What would you spend it on? Would you stand pat like our guy Gager? Would you try to get a top 6 forward? Maybe of not the upper echelon guys, maybe Andrew Mangiapane type. Or are you looking to move a goaltender? All that fun stuff. So let us know. EST Afternoons, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. And of course, on the Nasty Chat, slam that thumbs up. What do we have for thumbs? We are at 64.
Love it.
36 away from. Can you name a Oilers that were number 64?
Jason Bonsignor?
Ooh, no,
we couldn't wear 66 because he wanted to, but
did he wear 64?
I want to say it because I think that was his motorcycle racing number.
Neil Yakupov.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? It might not have been.
No, let me check. I think you're onto something.
I'm on to something.
Let's see.
Giancarlo in the NASCHET. Teams Oilers are currently tormenting Dallas and LA, hiring former Oilers staff. Colin with LA, Glenn with Dallas. Yeah, they're
well, they all want to take down the Oilers are the team to take down in the West.
All the teams in the West know that they're probably, to get to the Stanley Cup final, they're probably going to have to go through the Oilers.
And next year might be the year. For 1 year. Which is, I think it's fair to say. Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off. It's available 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Up next, some draft talk with Byron Bader he is the creator of Hockey Prospecting. Keep the messages coming in as we roll along here. Reminder, Reed Wilkins is coming up from 3 to 6. He'll be with Coob. So keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We recap the NHL draft next here on EST Afternoons.
The Oilers have made two signings. Kasperi, Kapanen, and Noah Philp coming back on one-year deals. Kapanen getting over $1 million, having Philp on a two-way contract at league minimum. Other news has Elliot Friedman of Sportsnet reporting that Florida and Aaron Ekblad have agreed to an 8-year contract extension worth over $6 million per season. Ekblad, 29, had 13 points in 19 playoff games. And Matthias Michelli is a Leaf being traded from Utah to Toronto in exchange for a conditional third-rounder in 2027. Also on the move, Vladimir Tarasenko has been shipped to Minnesota from Detroit for future consideration. Staying out east, 25-year-old Alexander Romanov has signed a $50 million 8-year extension with the Islanders. In baseball, there's 8 games. Toronto and New York open up a 4-game series. Max Scherzer takes the mound for the Jays. First pitch at 5:07. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. We recap the draft on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Trent Frederick, 8-year contract, $3.85 million. And I know many of you don't like it, but it is a reality. Look, when this broke last week, I was surprised a player like this was getting 8 years. But even if it were a shorter deal, I've come to the point where I'm expecting there's probably some sort of no move or no trade along the way.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon, 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hosting the Big Canada Day Bash? Make room for the celebration with Sentinel Storage. From decluttering the garage, storing your seasonal gear, and keeping your treasures safe, we've got the space so you can enjoy the day and every day. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
River Cree Resort and Casino on K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
.223. It's a little loud in my ears. That slaps, what the kids say. Just ahead of some recap of the NHL draft. Byron Bader. Coop's working on him right now. It's been a fun show, man. These days are awesome because there's so much speculation, so much movement. We've had Ekblad re-sign with the Florida Panthers. 6.1 AAV. I still think it's because they're a really good team.
Well,
yeah, well,
just looking into the state tax, like Florida doesn't have a state tax, so just federal, right? That's, I believe how that's, just trying to look and see what it is. I'll try to break it down for later. We can see. I'll try to do it so we can, if a Florida Panther played in a different place, what would their taxes look like? That might be something.
That'd be cool. So Cam Robinson, who's a content director and director of film scouting at Elite Prospects, tweeted out 9 minutes ago, hearing Edmonton is finalizing an extension for Evan Bouchard, 4 years, 10.5. I don't know how legit Mr. Robinson is. He's got 40.4 followers. We're good to go. We'll get back to that, but we'll wait and see if the Elliots of the world have that as well. I mean, but that's what's been rumored, 4 years, which anywhere from 9.5 to 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. We'll go on. But right now we're going to recap the NHL draft with Byron Bader. He's the creator of Hockey Prospecting. Byron, how you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Just finally getting a little air after the craziness of the draft, but yeah, doing awesome. So.
And here we are bringing you back to do a hit, eh? This is vacation time for all the prospects, guys. Let's kick it off. I want to get to the top end here. You know, Matthew Schaefer 1, Michael Misa 2, Anton Frundell 3. Is that what you had predicted going into this draft? And I'll say this, Matthew Schaefer, it was very emotional watching him, not really knowing him, but knowing his story. I mean, I don't think there was a dry tear, anybody watching that. But what do you make of the first three players that went in this year's draft, Byron?
Yeah, I thought, went kind of as expected for basically the last month or so. There was some talk that maybe Frundell might go too, but it looks really good. Like in terms of all three of them and based on what I do and kind of projecting what these guys are going to turn into in the NHL, like they all have like really high star probability and look like they could all turn into something special, which is kind of uncommon for like the top three for all three of them to kind of work out into these stars in the NHL. There's always kind of one that maybe is a bit of a wonky pick that's maybe more of like a defensive prospect or something, or they just don't work out. But like, I think these three have a really, really good chance. They all look really good. Schaefer's a two-way D-man that can just fly, that like, worst case scenario, I've kind of been saying you're kind of getting like that Jay Bouwmeester, like can eat up 25 minutes, no problem, skate effortlessly. And then, best case scenario is you kind of get like the Hedman type. And then, Misa's basically breaking records in the OHL, putting up massive points. And then Frundell, he looks great as well. He's very, very young, and he's already producing like crazy in the secondary Swedish league. So I think you got a good chance that all three of these guys work out really, really well for their teams and all turn into stars or maybe superstars down the road.
Do any of these three make the jump right away to the big league here?
Oh, I think so. I think Schaefer, I mean, it's pretty uncommon that a D actually does, but I don't know if there's much left for him to do in the OHL. I mean, he only did get into 17 games, so maybe there's that part. And then, Misa, again, like, he had crazy amount of points. Like, what is he going to do going back to the OHL? And then you have Frundell, who is basically either going to make the NHL, sounds like from his own mouth, or he's basically going back to Sweden to play with the team he was playing there with in the year. So, yeah, I mean, I think he got a good chance at least one of those, maybe even two, with the offside that all three of them make the NHL right away.
Byron, there were a lot of centers picked in those top 10. We all know how difficult it can be to go up against seasoned NHL centermen, going on draws, things like that. Do you see even with Misa, do you see him starting at center to begin with, or do you think the Sharks would maybe be looking for a little bit more insulation for him and learning the NHL game before kind of giving him those center opportunities or responsibilities is probably a better word for him right now?
Yeah, I think he played center for basically the whole year. I think he kind of maybe played a little bit of wing the year prior, but I think they're certainly probably going to start him at center, but not like in like a 1C type thing. I mean, obviously Celebrini sort of already has that role, so at least they can start him in the 2C, or probably start him at 3C and kind of, give him some cherry picked offensive minutes and let him build his confidence a little bit. And then maybe if he's thriving with all that kind of by December, January-ish, you sort of bump him up to that top 6 role. But I imagine he'll sort of start him off at center, but it'll be very insulated, role to try and get him those offensive starts and get him some PT time and stuff. So that's how I could see it going. But I think he'll probably stick at center for most of his career, I would imagine. Like he's not a smaller guy too, so it's not like you have to, you're dealing with like a 5'9" guy trying to go up with all these guys. So I think he'll stick there.
Byron Bader from Hockey Prospecting joining us here on EST Afternoons. Going to put you on the spot, Byron. The Oilers only had 5 picks in this draft. They didn't pick till the 3rd round. What did you make of their 5 selections? And if you had to put a grade on it, what would that be?
Sorry, it's cutting out there. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, sorry. Just can you give us your assessment of the Oilers draft? They only had 5 picks, all late in the later rounds. Obviously, not a pick in the 1st or the 2nd round. Just what kind of grade did you give the Edmonton Oilers?
Okay.
Oh,
here. I think now I gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, let's do this again. Just a grade on the Oilers draft. Only 5 players selected, none in the top 2 rounds. But what did you make of the Oilers at the draft?
Yeah, I mean, their first pick was at pick, 83 or something like that. Like, not a whole lot that you can kind of work with. They still had 5 picks, so I would probably give it like, a C rating. Like Lafreniere looks like maybe he has a little bit of potential. Yeah. I mean, and then they got kind of the shutdown D-man that doesn't have much offense, and then they got the overager and the goalie prospect from Europe there is not really playing in like a notable league quite yet. So, I mean, probably not a lot there. They might have, even if they get a player that plays 100 NHL games from basically where they started drafting and the picks they had, then I would probably consider that a win. So I'd say a solid C based on, what was available and what their picks were basically.
Yeah.
Byron, it's so hard to predict the future of players, but is there a team that kind of, when you look at what they were able to accomplish through the draft and addressing some of the needs of the team, is there a team that really sticks out to you from this draft to kind of really, maybe not a home run, but at least a double or a triple?
Yeah, I mean, the Islanders certainly did really, really well. I mean, they traded Dobson out the door, so I mean that's a big piece gone for them, but they're basically replacing him right away with Schaefer, so that's kind of why they made the move, and then getting Atkinson and then getting Ekblad sort of in the middle of the 1st round. Like, I think that was really good. They had a couple other good picks kind of throughout. They did really well. Yeah, I thought like Calgary did pretty well based on their draft slot. Like, they drafted really well again, and they got the smaller guy, but they got the center who has some really good offensive upside in Reshny, and then they got a couple picks after that. Montreal obviously did fantastic. I mean, they traded out their 1st rounders, but they got the monster sort of star D-man and Dobson that can kind of really help build out that core, and then they got a couple nice picks by trading back in and just getting really good value sort of later on in the draft, like a guy like Zarovsky or LJ Mooney as well. So they did pretty well. So those are a couple teams that sort of stand out. And then there's, a lot of teams like Chicago and Philadelphia. They did a lot of stuff that I liked, and they got some good value, but then they also kind of made some picks where it was like, ooh, that guy's got a pretty low chance of making it. But so it was kind of hit or miss. But yeah, certainly the Islanders did very well. And then I liked what Montreal did based on getting Dobson and then their picks. And then Calgary as well was good for me.
I got to ask, Byron, what did you make of, Gager and I are old school. We love the old way the draft was done. The production, the presentation of this year's draft, it was long. It was awkward at times. What did you make of the whole show on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar vibes. Like I'm old school too. I love the draft and how it's kind of unique, and you can see all the teams there, and then the players come over. So, I thought it was really awkward. And then like when they pick them, and then they kind of take them to that like weird Star Trek like virtual room, and then like it's cutting out, and they can't hear the guys, and then you got James Haggins going to Boston, and then he goes over and right away, he's dropping, and then he goes over and he thanks the Bruins for taking him right away, and they can't even hear him. They're not even paying attention to him. It was just like, oh my God, like this is not the same experience. So it was a bit wonky, dragged on for sure. Like I think they could, I think they're just going to go straight back to the way they've always done it. But if they do it again next year, because it sounds like maybe the teams kind of liked it, like don't even bring them into that virtual room. Like just put them right on TV and get them talking. Like they can go talk to the team afterwards, and we don't need to hear that little awkward video conversation, because that was just hard to watch anyways.
Yeah, I know for sure. Byron, I know it's been a busy time leading up to the draft. You do great work. Thank you for taking the time on this Monday afternoon to join us, and I'm sure we'll have you on once again. But enjoy the rest of your week.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that's Byron Bader. Great stuff. Creator of Hockey Prospecting. You can find him on Twitter at Brian M. Bader. And we got some breaking news. We need a horn or something. No? Let's see.
How's that?
All right. It's official. Well, it's not official by the Oilers, but it's official by all. Hey, shout out to Cam Robinson. He had it first. Chris Johnson all over it now. Elliot Freeman. Evan Bouchard has signed a 4-year extension with the Edmonton Oilers for $10.5 per year. Gager, initial thoughts. Let's go.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
It's a tough
He's going to
life.
need a security team.
The butcher gets paid.
The butcher gets paid. Yeah, it is what it is. I think it's the wave of the future for a lot of these guys, especially around Evan Bouchard's wheelhouse. He can, and this was probably in discussions with his agent as well. Why would he want to get locked up into 8 years when he knows the cap is skyrocketing?
Yeah.
This is a very good bridge deal to something that if he continues to put up the numbers that he does, will translate into something massive 5 years from now.
So this is kind of the number we thought. We saw Noah Dobson. What did we say last week, Gager? We said it's probably going to be $1 million more just because of what he's done in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. He's a better offensive guy than Noah Dobson. I just said it a couple segments ago. I do like that it's a 4-year deal. It brings the AAV up, right? Obviously, if you went 8, you're probably looking at a lower AAV, maybe at what Noah Dobson could. But I'm a fan of the shorter deals. I mean, the cap's going to go up. Who knows who's going to be on this roster in 4 years from now? The plan is to win a cup here in the next 4 years, guys. That, to me, is the big thing. So if Bouchard is here for those 4 years and they get a cup, then I have no issues with this. You can re-sign him. He'll be 29 when he needs to, 29 heading into 30. That number is probably going to go up, but so is the cap. So I'll be honest. I mean, I never liked the AAVs. I always find they're too high, but this is what it's going for. He gets $1 million more than Noah Dobson. He's an elite offensive defenseman. He is. He needs a lot of work on his defensive game, but this was the market, and this is the deal, and it's for 4 years. We'll wait on details on no movements and all that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a full no movement for the 4 years.
It says no movement. There's not there. There's no movement.
No, just wait, though.
I know.
Just wait. Is it already up on Puckpedia?
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
Yeah. 10-5.
So the Oilers have $550,000 left in cap space.
Right.
So they got to move some bodies here if they want to upgrade any part of it. So what are your thoughts, Nasties? We want to know. Nasty Chat, River Cree Inbox, 780-218-9999. What are your thoughts? The deal is finally done.
Do you think, why did they did it now? Do you think there was an offer sheet coming for Bouchard?
Speculate all you want, Joaquin, but I don't know. Maybe. I mean, how much would a team offer sheet him for realistically?
But I
don't think it'd be over 12. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, but just the picks.
Yeah.
You know? You get all those picks, you can do what you want.
Wonder all Smitty the Welder's doing. He's probably livid right now. Probably blacked out after I read that. Do you like it though?
I like the Butcher. I don't like Evan. If that's
if the Butcher's getting 10.5, we're happy.
I'm fine with it, man. Give the Butcher the world.
Oh, boy.
No, wow. I got to get to a sports bar and listen to people, because this is big news. Good for him. And I mean, he played really good in playoffs. Final series wasn't what we were used to.
Yeah.
But you could say that to a man in of all the Oilers. He's a huge piece of that power play. We talked about it before. Is it an interchangeable piece? I think that you should, whoever's implementing it next year, I do think that the aside from Leon and Connor coming off, the other guys are interchangeable. That's power play too.
Yeah. How about this, Joaquin? Let's take a quick break and come back.
Okay.
And break this down. The Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out the Kitchen Restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, it's 50% off the entire menu. It's 5 p.m. till close. That's the River Cree Inbox, 780-218-9999. Up next, Bouchard, 4-year deal, 10.5. What say you? We want to hear from you. The next segment is all for you. We'll read your texts and your messages on the Nasty Chat. Here's Coop Sports Update.
Breaking news from multiple sources, including Cam Robinson from Elite Prospects, have reported that Evan Bouchard and the Oilers have agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $10.5 million per season. The 25-year-old had 7 goals and 23 points in 22 playoff games for the Oilers. Staying in Edmonton, Noah Philp and Kapanen have been re-upped on a 1-year deal. Kapanen getting over $1 million next season. Philp coming in at league minimum. Elsewhere, Sportsnet's Elliot Friedman, among others, have reported that Aaron Ekblad and the Panthers have agreed to an 8-year contract extension worth over $6 million per season. In other news, the Leafs have acquired Matias Maccelli from the Mammoth for a conditional 3rd-rounder in 2027. And from Long Island, Alexander Romanov has signed an 8-year, $50 million extension. In baseball, there's 8 games. The Jays and Yankees go toe-to-toe after 5 o'clock. It's Max Scherzer getting the start for Toronto. We discussed Evan Bouchard's contract on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Have some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends, where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
We're back here. Final segment on EST afternoons. Big news. Evan Bouchard has signed 4 years, $10.5 million. Reed Wilkins coming off 3-6. He'll be all over it.
Yeah, let's hit that thumbs up if you think it's a good contract, and also hit that thumbs up if you think it's a bad contract.
Okay, so I did some digging. So now with Darnell Nurse and Evan Bouchard, those two guys take up 21% of your cap.
Hey.
That is far too much. Because again, is Evan Bouchard a number one defenseman? He's
in a way.
In a way, yes, offensively. Defensively, he's not a shutdown guy. He can't defend like a number one defenseman. So you're spending close to $20 million, over $20 million. And you still have Ekholm, I guess, but at 35 years old, that's a lot of money for two defensemen, Joaquin.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah, no, I mean, but like we said, the thing is we see, and I'm gonna be on the side of Bouchard here, where he's on the ice all the time. So there's going to be mistakes made. That's what hockey is. Somehow he has to get the 5-star mistake out of his game, you know? And I know it's the body language, and sometimes it just doesn't look like it's engaged on the other side of the puck. But we've all seen what he is capable of doing. Like, I really don't think the Edmonton Oilers don't get out of the first round without Evan Bouchard.
That's because he's such a polarizing player, man. Like, he can win you a game and he can lose you a game.
Yeah.
All within 5 minutes. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Now, I think the positive here for the Oilers is in back-to-back playoffs, he stepped up. He had 2 bad games against LA to start. The whole team was bad.
Yeah.
But he was noticeably bad with his giveaways. And then until the Florida series, when a lot of guys struggled, like, at least we know this guy can elevate his game.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, I mean, in the regular season, do you want to see a little more of that? Of course you do. But it's just the way he is. He's relaxed. He's chill. Nothing really bothers him. You make a good point. He always has the puck on his stick. He's prone to more mistakes because he carries the puck more than anyone on the Oilers. But when he's on, he's brilliant.
Yeah. And it comes with a little bit of a simplification, too. He's so confident that he's willing to try a lot of things in the regular season that he got out of his game, like you just said after those first 2 games with the LA Kings. Like, he made the simple play at that point. And look, he takes chances, just like Leon does, just like Connor does. They kind of get that free pass for drop passes and things at offensive and defensive blue lines to try to create. Creation causes chaos at times. And but you're paying for that 80-foot tape-to-tape pass hitting Connor through a seam, right? You're paying for the poise at the blue line of being the last guy toe dragging someone and giving Leon Draisaitl an open net, right? There's just, I have to say that after watching Evan Bouchard again through the playoffs, that the good does outweigh the bad when it matters most.
No, it's like I said, when he's on, he's brilliant offensively. Do you want more defensively? Of course you do. Does he?
Because you're going to need it.
Does he need the right partner? And that partner's Ekholm, but Ekholm's at the tail end here. So Nurse doesn't work with Bouchard. Don't even attempt to try that next year because those two are not good together. It's. I'm not blown away by the number, Joaquin, because I thought it'd be anywhere between 10.5 and 11.
Yeah, and Tommy said, don't even. It starts at 10.5. I remember Handsome Gazzola, Thomas.
I thought it'd drop a bit with Dobson's deal because that's what usually happens.
Yeah, 1.5 more.
Yeah, that's no, just one.
Oh, just one?
Yeah,
it was
9.5.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 9.
Andrew says, our number one defender can defend, plus our goalies can't be any mistakes, but run it back, babe. Hey, Andrew, listen, Bouchard was never going to be let go. Okay. He was always going to be top priority this offseason to resign. That's exactly what he did. He's 25 years old, too. He's not even in his prime yet.
Yeah.
So let's pump
Nurse
the brake.
is in his prime.
Yeah. Well, Nurse is, I think, past it now.
No,
not at 30.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
think there's still some of the brilliance of good defensive play, and I think this is what Darnell Nurse has been able to do for so long. Is he's been able to get by with his physical attributes, his skating ability, his strength, his speed. Right when those start kind of falling off a little bit, you have to use your mind a little bit more.
Yeah,
and that's where kind of, I mean, I'm not saying Darnell Nurse is falling off like physically, but sometimes just the amount he's seen, the amount of scenarios he's been part of, stuff starts looking familiar again.
And that's a problem with, I think the biggest issue with Darnell for me is sometimes the thinking part of the game, he struggles.
The
Processing.
controller gets unplugged sometimes. Right.
You said it perfectly. Yes. Sometimes he has these moments and you're like, and listen, this is not Stan Bowman and Jeff Jackson's problem. The Darnell Nurse number. It is what it is. It was signed by Kenny Holland, and he is not even your number one or number two defenseman. You're paying 9.25 for your third best defenseman, which is, I get it, but that was done years ago. There's nothing we can do about it now. Now you're signing your guy who's probably your second, he's probably your best defenseman just because of the offense, right?
Smitty, the welder, top 2 paid defensemen need babysitters. Yikes. Smitty, it's
You're not wrong.
Well, I don't look at it as babysitting. It's a fit.
Yeah.
And like I just mentioned with the Sedin brothers, right? Those were 2 of the most fantastic hockey players in the NHL. And there was only a handful of guys, not even a handful. There were 3 guys that were able to play with those 2 on it. And it's about finding the right fit. Not everyone can play with Connor McDavid. Not everyone can play with Leon Draisaitl. It's tough to find that, especially with defenders. And sometimes it can be fleeting. It can be good for a portion and then it kind of falls off. But look, for a majority of the time there, and look, you'll get a healthy Ekholm at the start of the season to play with Bouchard. I did like Kulak and Nurse. I don't know if that works, but
it's going to have to.
It's going to have to.
Jason the Acadian, 21% of our cap, and then they're the opposite side D-men, but cannot play together. Great team building. Oh, boy. I know it's going to take a lot of heat. It's a 4-year deal, 10.5. I like the term. I mean, the number is, listen, I can be upset about the number, but that's what these guys are going for. You don't have to agree with it, but he was always going to get between 10 and 11. Does he need to improve defensively? 120%.
And he said it himself.
Yeah, he said it himself. Nurse, like this is Bouchard, okay? This is on him. Is he going to become the new guy that everybody goes all over during the season because they're paying him too much? Because that was Nurse. Nurse had a good regular season, struggled in the playoffs. Nurse is 30 years old. Gord Marner. Did Nurse have his prime? I missed it. Oh, boy. Listen, I'm not a fan either of... Listen, Ekholm, you still got another year out of him. What's his play going to be like? Because if he's good, then you're good. Wallman is a nice addition. Kulak, steady Eddie. I like Emberson as a third pairing guy. Who's the other guy? Stetcher, sure, 6'7" guy.
Emberson will take a step.
Yeah,
I'm confident that he's
core is, I think, going to be okay. It's going to be fine. Yes, it sucks that you're paying over $20 million for 2 guys, and you need to find the right fit for them. They're not gonna. I mean, Bouchard plays a ton of minutes. But this contract, I mean, we can't be upset about the Nurse one. It's 2 different things. 2 different GMs signed these, so it is what it is, folks. And so June 30th was the day Bouchard signed. And but listen, I see a lot of distaste for it for sure. But I do see some people liking it because of the term. I was going to call you Tommy. Apologies.
Yeah, sorry. Stupid Peter. That's what Bush is worth, but it's frustrating that guys won't take discounts, especially since Ekblad just did. Ekblad had signed 8 for 7.5 prior. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, different,
but
5-year difference in age. Like, it's different times.
It's a little bit different, right?
And would you take?
He's won 2 cups too.
Would you take a discount out of your work to be a team guy? Guys don't take discounts. Come on. No one's going to Bouchard. Hey, can you take $3 million less so we can have it? This is not Bouchard's problem. The cap. It is not. Yeah. This is the Oilers' problem. The management that was here before and the management now, it's their problems, not Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard shouldn't have to take a discount. That's not how pro sports works. These guys are not looking for discounts.
And think about it. He's going to be so happy. He's going to play with a lot of gumption, I think.
Oh, boy. Well, I hope so.
Should.
This doesn't get you going. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. We got to get out because Reed Wilkins is coming up. Big shout out to Byron Bader from Hockey Prospecting. Great breakdown of the draft. We talked about a lot of the moves, and then this broke just about 20 minutes ago.
Reed will probably have more of the details filtering because we can't. Both Ekblad and what we're seeing on Puckpedia, there's no details. So there'll probably some sort of no movement or.
Yeah, Michael Cook says guys don't take discounts when discussing a guy that just took a discount. Okay, but Ekblad was probably getting what in the open market? 7, maybe 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, he took less money, and he's also 5 years older, guys. There's a big difference. 6.1 for the next older, 8 years.
Family.
And he signed 8 years.
Yeah. Signed 8 years the prior.
Can't compare the two.
Yeah.
Can't. Would you take a discount? Probably not. So don't expect pro athletes to. Again, this is Oilers management's problem, not the players. Anyways, Reed Wilkins coming up for Coop. Coop, music.
Dead air.
All right, for Joaquin, for Coop, I'm Hernan Salas. The big news, Bouch signs 4 years, 10.5. We're all over it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Matthew Wannick's got the free agency special, so keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Reed Wilkins coming up now, and he'll have more on this. See you later.